Speak.
Speaking again from the microphone.
No, I mean we're recording now.
Ah, okay. What's up, everyone?
So Justin, explain to me why you sound a little bit under quality right now.
Well, this would be the sound of my S7 microphone.
And why is that?
Laptop chargers across the yard. Hard to get. So I don't have a computer for the night.
You know, it would have made things easier if you didn't get shot the other day.
Oh yeah, if I didn't get shot with a 50 cal.
That damn robber.
I know, right? The robber. Well, for you guys who don't know, I spent about 30 seconds tricking Matt into thinking that I got shot, and then after about 30 seconds, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna tell him. And I got a giant Ow! My phone just told me it has a low battery, and it vibrated in my ear. Well, what was I saying? Because of that stupid little thing my phone did.
Let me just say this. You had me until you said damn robber. You wanna know
I
why?
wasn't trying to make. Why?
Because no one says robber anymore. Damn robber.
That's true too.
Damn robber, if I had my gun on me, it wouldn't have gone down like that. I'll tell you what.
Oh, I was trying to sound really cheesy the entire time.
You obviously sounded really cheesy. Also, you don't
Good,
really need
good,
to
good,
try. You
good.
sound cheesy all the time. So why did you
What'd you
get the?
say?
No, nothing. Why did you get this mole removed, huh?
Well, it could have been cancerous. And I've had it since I was a kid, then it started getting sensitive, so I was like, well, let's get it removed. Got it removed, and now I have a giant gaping hole in my leg, and my girlfriend says it's the size of a dollar coin.
Dollar coin.
Yep. You've seen the pictures, but it's hard to tell the size from pictures.
It looks to me like it's the size of a penny.
Yeah, right.
A bullet shell.
Size of a penny.
What about a quarter?
No, it's bigger than a quarter.
Bigger than a quarter. How big was this fucking mole?
It was about half an inch in diameter.
Half an inch.
Yeah.
Wow. Fucking.
And they had to cut pretty well around it and pretty deep. And if they did a biopsy, so if they find out that it was precancerous, they're going to have to dig down a little farther, and then I have to restart my entire hell that I'm going through.
You have to restart your hell,
But
depending on how far
yeah,
it's progressed.
yeah,
I don't think it's serious. I mean, you would have gone. It would have gone to you by now, to be honest. If it was
it
malignant.
definitely, it definitely would have. If anything, if it did get cancerous, it would have probably gotten cancerous when it started feeling sensitive.
Did they take any like blood tests from you?
No.
Well, that's stupid. If they're testing for cancer, you gotta take fucking blood tests. I'll tell you one
I
thing.
was
This actually reminds me of a story. I remember back in senior year of high school, I had to get a tooth pulled because it was, well, the cavity went down to the nerve and they couldn't save it. And I guess I didn't really want to go through the whole putting in there because it was a molar in the back that no one really used anyway, or I didn't use at least. Anyway, I got it. We got it pulled out, and then after that, the nurse said that there was an incident where she stabbed herself with a needle while she was capping it off. And of course, me being the patient and being the hypochondriac that I am already about being at the dentist because I don't like being there and having to do X-rays. At first I thought she stabbed herself and then injected it into me. I'm like, that's no, that can't be right. And he's like, no, she stabbed herself with it. I'm like, oh, she stabbed herself with whatever was in me. And they're like, oh, so you think I have AIDS?
That's terrible.
Yeah, but anyway, I had to go up to the fucking emergency room the next morning and I had to get a blood test and they were checking out the tooth too, and I don't know why. But like when I was sitting there I was thinking, oh man, a blood test. Like they can find out literally anything about you with that blood test.
They can.
Yeah, and they you know, so I'm like, oh, this is my chance to nonchalantly find out if I have cancer or not. So, and I'm thinking, no, if I had cancer, I would have known it. But no, it's like, do I have AIDS or do I not have AIDS or do I not have something else? Do I have something that I didn't even know? Am I hypoglycemic or something? I don't even know what that fucking
Yeah.
word was, but I'm a hypochondriac, so hey. But no, I had to sit there for like. It's funny because like I hate hospitals. I hate hospitals with a fucking passion, and I cannot deal with them. So like
Yeah.
when it came down to like getting my blood test, they had to wait for my blood pressure to go down in order for me to do it. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll calm myself, and then I'm just sitting there for a bit, and I'm sitting there, and like they give you like these fucking what's it called? I was sitting in like a very was it a recliner? I think it was a recliner. It seemed like one of those things that you would like if you were getting chemo. That's like the chair that you would be sitting in. Like it's a very
Oh
comfortable.
God.
It's a very comfortable chair, and you're just kind of sitting back.
Very-
Um, but no, I just kind of sat there, and I was like, my mom was there too because she had to drive me, and she was working, and it was it was so much fun. Not really, but it was a busy day too, so I didn't like it because I had to get out of school. No, was it school early? No, I basically got out of school an hour early, and I had to drive all the way down to Akron, get my test, and then go back up because we were apparently having senior day, and I couldn't. And of course, when you get a tooth pulled, you couldn't drink anything, or at least out of a straw. You had to like gulp it down like that. And what sucks is that I
Yeah.
drank. It was very hot, so I had to drink uh, drinks with ice in it, and drinks and ice and scars and holes in your mouth don't really exactly mix well, so it hurt. And I had to chew on my right side, which sounds weird, but it makes sense if you've ever had a tooth pulled. You have to chew
Yeah.
on your right side, that way ain't nothing gets in there and you don't have to like dig it out or flush it out. But what you're able to do is, oh yeah, and you can't use mouthwash. You can't use mouthwash at all because apparently swishing it around would like disrupt the little bulb in there, and then it would kind of pop and it would never heal up. God,
Really?
yeah. Because like when it's kind of like your hole in the leg. Like if you were to keep picking at it, like it'll never heal. Like that thing will never heal, and it'll just look like terrible crap. But with, mine, if I were to like suck something out, they called it something. I think they just called it a plug. Like the plug would come out, and then it would take longer for it to do, and you would have to buy more gauze and let it, stop bleeding. God, it was
Yeah.
stupid. I hated that so much. I never want to go back to a hospital for some stupid fucking reason like that.
You know what I'm dealing with right now?
Hmm.
With the hole in my leg, every time we leave a pad on there or something to keep it covered so I don't get infection, it starts healing to it and scabbing with it.
Oh, really? So you're kind of ripping it off while you're. Oh God, that's terrible.
It's like, all right, so I have to take this off so I don't
You're
get
supposed
an
to line it with
infection.
something though. It's not supposed to be dry. It's supposed to be like a little bit moist so it doesn't stick.
Is that a scab?
You can do it for a scab. It doesn't matter. It's like it's not supposed to
Oh
be.
no, I meant she just finally got off the painful part that was attached to me, and I asked her if that was a scab.
Oh,
It ripped off.
well, like
I'm having
you're supposed to like wet
a
it a little
procedure
bit
done
so it
now.
doesn't stick.
Yeah, it dries up pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if it dries up pretty quickly. It's still damp because like that's what they had me do with my with the plug. They had me wet it a little bit and then put it in my mouth, so it didn't dry.
Really?
Yeah, so it didn't dry out my mouth and it didn't dry up the plug.
Is it
And
bleeding? Okay, good. I'm not bleeding. Hooray!
hooray! What about pus?
What about what?
What about pus? The
Pus? No.
gooey stuff that comes out of
They
it.
cut out more so much that there wouldn't be no pus.
Oh wow. Ugh. Like I saw how deep it was in another picture. I don't know if I'm gonna post it on the picture. Oh yeah, I should probably mention how the format for this Tubecast is completely different. As for one, the intro and the game playing in the back. Take a guess what game is playing in the back. I already recorded the game that I was gonna put it in.
Well, let me think. Knowing you would probably be The Sims.
Good God, how? How did you know that?
That's not a hard guess.
God damn. Okay, today I was actually originally gonna record a Thrillville Let's Play. I don't know why I did, but I decided to. But the fact that the game and Shadow Play like have no good interaction with it whatsoever, it
Mhm.
did what happened to the Minecraft Let's Play where it got out of sync. But it got out of sync so badly that the video was actually going much faster than the fucking audio.
That's funny.
Like, it got to a point where, like, because it was reading it always as 100 frames per second, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And I'm like, it's probably nothing. It's probably reading it as 100 frames because that's what it's seeing. But no, it was actually recording 100 frames a second in 60 frames, and it was making it go faster than it should. And I'm thinking, oh fuck! And every time,
That is
like I
funny.
recorded like 30 some minutes or maybe 40 some minutes of the Sims Let's Play, and it did that like once in a while where it did the like 167 and like then back down to like 27 sometimes. But like, I was worried that it was going to do it, so I just started skimming through the video. And of course, when you're skimming through the video and you only have like Windows Media Player, like that's all you're playing through. Of course, it's going to be crappy and it's going to like chug along a little bit. But like, I was worried because like it had low frames and then it was going fast. I'm like, oh god, why is it going fast here? And it's like, oh, because I'm fast forwarding. Like I'm going three speed in the video, so I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. But anyway, off from this, what about let's talk about things that are in the news. Suicide Squad's in the news.
It is. I have yet to see it. I don't really have much of a background, just as a disclaimer.
I've seen it, and it's good. Like I get pissed off because I saw the fucking reviews for it, right? Like people were saying, oh,
Yeah.
it's too dark, it's too edgy, and like it's so I don't understand the characters because it's not what I'm getting for. And I'm looking at this like it's for the DC fan base, guys.
It's for someone who has a background and knows the backgrounds behind all the characters. You
Like
shouldn't jump into it like I would if I were to watch it.
like you wouldn't understand why Deadshot was in Gotham, or you wouldn't understand the whole what's it called, Captain Boomerang scene where Captain Boomerang and the Flash was like how he was in there, like why it was the Flash and why it was just Captain Boomerang. And oh my god, I still love that fucking scene, right? I love that fucking Flash scene. Even though it was only 13 seconds, it was the best 13 seconds of my life watching that fucking scene. Even though that he only had like one line and he only went fast about twice. But god, I loved it. I did. I mean, there were obviously some flaws with the movie that really pissed me off, i.e. Harley Quinn, how she's a fucking annoying train wreck the entire time. Like, I know that's her
Really?
I know that that's her character, but I just it's like Margot Robbie, she like I mean she plays the character well, but I think the writing for it could have been a little bit better rather than just some kind of like I'm trying to pinpoint her. Like how you see those kids in like high school that like dress like. Speaking of which, I'm just going off on a tangent. When I was in the movie theater, there was a Harley Quinn cosplayer, right? And she was she was pretty big.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she was pretty big, and I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, is the shirt supposed to be ripping? And I saw that the shirt was supposed to be ripping. I saw that the shirt was ripped in the thing. I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but she's the only person there. She's the only person there cosplaying. So why the fuck did she need the cosplay? Like, of course, it was Thursday 8 p.m. When I guess the first showings were showing off, at least in my area. Like they showed, like it usually is supposed to be midnight, but they were showing it earlier, like at 8 p.m. And
Yeah.
we were watching it, and I just there were some things that I didn't understand, like the main villain. Like I know he has a name, but I just don't know what his fucking what his fucking motive is. And then you got
that's kind of a flaw.
But like there were a lot of name drops. Like I think people who were fans of DC would like it because there were so many name drops, like famous places like Midway City, Arkham Asylum. What else? What else was there? I know there was another place. Bel Rev, of course. Bel Rev is basically the big base for the Suicide Squad, even though it's a prison. And what else? There was another one. That was dropped. All I know is that they're doing like an Avengers kind of thing with the fucking Justice League, because like Ben Affleck, of course, Batfleck, he appears in this.
Batfleck.
Yeah, like he appears as Batman, of course, in the first part where he's chasing after Harley Quinn and Joker, and I think he was chasing after Deadshot too. And then he appears like at the end scene where he's talking to Amanda Waller, and he's like, "Shut it down! I got my team to take care of this." And he's like, "What team?" As he looks through the dossier that she has on the Flash, and I'm thinking, you don't have to tease the Flash because he's not the next. I don't think he's the next film to come out. It's Wonder Woman, right? I think it's Wonder Woman.
something like that.
Because Flash, I think comes out in like 2017 or 2018, somewhere then, or 2019. I think it comes out way later. I think like way.
Yeah,
I think it's like a movie after the Justice League movie Part 1. So it didn't quite make sense for him to be. I don't know why. I guess they're just teasing the Flash because everyone loves the Flash. Of course, like the fucking TV show. I love
yeah,
the
the TV show is amazing.
we love the TV show. I love the TV show with a fucking passion. I was even like looking up more shit on it. I was even watching that Supergirl episode that he was on, even though I didn't really like Supergirl. I hate Supergirl so much.
I don't see the point in it. It's a poured over from CBS, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's a poured over, and we all know poured overs are never good.
Yeah, I mean they're trying. I think they're just trying to really expand their flare-overs, if that's what they're calling it. Cause like
Yeah,
you have the Flash going over to CBS, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, I'm from this other Earth, and I mention all these characters, but you'll never see them because they can only afford me." But like, and when he goes back to the flare-overs, he's like, "How long was I gone? Doesn't matter. You broke your own record." He's like,
you
"Oh,
beat your
I
own
broke
record.
my own record? Wow." What about
He
Supergirl?
beat his own record while going into another Earth.
It's like they didn't monitor the fact that he was gone for roughly 2 seconds and then came back. I'm guessing they're like, wow, you went so fast that we lost sight of you for one moment. That was weird.
Yeah, just like how when oh crap, I can't say it because she hasn't gotten that far yet. No, wait, yes, she has. Have you seen the Time Wraith? Have you seen the Time Wraith episode?
Oh, that's like 6 episodes before the end, isn't it? It's in
Something
flashback.
like that. What? Yeah, it's the time travel one. Yes. Okay.
So
Making sure you saw that before I scream this. Uh, it like when he kind of sees himself and it's jumping back and forth between where the comm says he is.
yeah.
I loved that because then they're just like it's something he's messing with his comms. I think it's the frequency. And you're just like, nope, there's two berries.
Let me tell you something. I actually liked that scene where he was fighting himself, even though that was obviously CGI. Like you
It
could
was
tell,
obvious CGI, but
it was really
could
fucking
tell-
awesome. I loved it.
it was so awesome you could easily look past. I could easily look past it
I can
because
easily
it
look
was such
past
an
it.
awesome
I
scene.
can easily look past it if they just like, you know, kind of at least substituted the part where he was standing on the fucking fire escape and they were looking, because like it obviously looks so rubbery is what I would call it. But like the models that they make of these fucking guys, they look so fucking good. Like I can't
Yeah.
say anything bad about it because they do so well with them.
They did
Especially
an amazing job. It's really hard to pull off a human looking model when you're trying to make it look like real life. It's doable, but at the budget that they're on, with 23 episodes a season, they have to split their budget properly,
because like
and they did a really hell of a job.
they had to do the you have, I don't think you've gotten to Shark King, have you? Or King Shark?
Yeah,
Okay, you got into King Shark and of course Grodd. Like they have to spend they have to spend time getting those guys too because they're so fucking massively.
those guys, they either put more money into it, or it's just, or it looks better because they're not human. As a human, you kind of you see all the flaws.
Yeah.
When it's not human, your mind kind of ignores more of it, and it becomes more believable.
What they are really good at is when they're trying to animate the city. Like, of course, the city is completely animated sometimes when he's running. Like,
Yeah.
like the city is totally animated, but it looks real. Like, it really does. It does look passable as a fucking city, even though that it is Vancouver, and there aren't really that many buildings there. But when he was in that episode when he was running from Keystone all the way over to Central City, and he did that thing, you can see the skyline in the back. I don't think that looks like Vancouver. That has to be something like that is Vancouver, but they probably added some more building to make it look more like a skyline.
Yeah. See, when it comes to running, everything looks really good up until does like a third-person shot straight to his face when he's running.
Okay, like
That's-
that's one of the problems that I had with Supergirl, and I just realized why I hated it. Because in Supergirl, when they're trying to make him run, right, you can see his arms moving like he's running normally. But when he's running in third person in the Flash, like you can see his arms moving faster when he's running, rather than him just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, run with the arms. He's going like super fast. Like you got fucking 7 arm waves a fucking second, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
but like,
See, if they could just work on that, the running wouldn't take me out of the moment every once in a while. But the story is so great with this that taking you out of the moment every once in a while isn't a bad thing.
that's why I'm worried about the movie. Because like with the Flash, like you got 40-minute episodes or 42-minute episodes, 23 42-minute episodes. That adds out to like maybe 8 movies, I would say. Probably around 8 movies, probably more than 8 movies. And one movie has to go and tell this big story in like an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. And
practically 2 episodes is a movie.
Pretty much 2 episodes is a movie with the CW. Because like if you do. Because, like, with the first season, like, you have this sense, like, oh, Harrison Wells is not who he appears to be, but who is he? And then later on, you're like, oh my god, he's a Reverse Flash. Because, you know, he's in the suit.
That's also what's great about TV shows. It's why I prefer TV shows over movies. See, people prefer books over movies because they can go into so much greater detail. They have more time to explain things. It's the same argument with TV shows and movies. They have a whole lot more time to span it out over 23 episodes.
Right. But
that's like 11 and a half hours roughly.
But the thing is, like, sometimes that's the thing with shows, right? You have to go through this long story, and you gotta make sure that you stick the landing from what you were telling in like the first couple episodes. And I think with the Flash, they've done pretty well with that, I would say.
Oh yeah, they've done really well. I mean, haven't finished season 2. I'm 1 episode away.
Mm-hmm. But like, I just realized that you're watching season 2 of Flash right now. But when you came to the crossover, did you watch the Arrow crossover? Like, did you watch
from Arrow?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because you kind of got it. That's a major plot point. Because it's basically a continuation, and there's
because they kind of skipped a bunch.
And I wanted to reference the one scene that was in it, but I'm like, wait, is that from the Flash episode or is that from Arrow? And I'm like, no, that's from Arrow. And that was the one that you didn't watch, but it was a scene where he was running and they used his animated figure, and it looks really fucking cool, even though that all he's doing is running and screaming. which doesn't really sound heroic, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like something.
By the way, what were you gonna say?
No, you go on.
I was only gonna say, when it comes to the movie Flash, it makes it better to know that it's in the multiverse and in another universe. That's one of the berries.
That's kind of what I'm assuming it's going to be, because in the TV show, it's referenced that this is Earth 1, like this is the Earth Prime. Like if you destroy this Earth, all the other universes or all the other Earths go with it. And I'm thinking, well, they haven't established that in the movies yet, but if they establish that in the movies, then I'm not really going to be because they have so many different universes. Like they have the DC animated universe, they have the TV universe, and then they have the cinematic universe. And I'm thinking that all those universes are on multiple different Earths.
That's also one thing that I like about DC so far, is that they go off the infinite universe theory.
Yeah.
The infinite universe theory is endless. Mm-hmm. It's why it's called infinite. There's an infinite number of universes that are exactly the same as yours. There's an infinite number of universes where in one day you might take a right turn instead of a left, and there's also an infinite number of universes where you don't even exist. There's an infinite number of universes. Oh my god.
There's probably another universe, but that theory doesn't even exist.
There is. There's another universe. There's an infinite number of universes also where no one's thought of the theory.
Yeah. It's weird. It's really
There's an infinite number of universes for everything.
I think that's why I like the Flash so much, is that they dive so deep into it.
And that's an actual theory too.
Yeah, it's an actual theory, and they created an entire story plot around it,
which is amazing. And if they don't play it off,
and when they went to Earth 2, all right, I like that, because that's what I like to say is like that's a Like that's an Earth that didn't progress well enough into like the modern like way thing like modern architecture. I think that's what the word is. Like, cause you see, like everything looks like it's from. I want to call it like Bioshocky, cause like it's all sepia tone and it looks 70s. Like even the cars look so old.
I would assume like how in the 1950s they assumed the future would be like.
Yeah, like that's basically it. Like that's how they would do it. It looks so steampunk kind of, where everyone's wearing like old
Yeah.
timey clothing and everyone's still talking into microphones that look like a fucking, I don't know, someone carved lines into a metal brick. And then you got
Look at the Jetsons.
yeah the Jetsons basically. And
It's it's the 1950s, but futuristic,
and I
way beyond the tech that they had, but using the same clothes that they had, similar clothes, I should say, not the same, just because that's what they know.
yeah I would like to. I definitely would like to think that, um, like like how the Earth 2 is, it's all different. Like the way it works in like the comics, like the comics they say like Earth 3 or Earth 2. I don't know. Like one of those Earths is crime syndicate Earth, where everyone is basically evil. Like all the good guys are bad, and every single bad guy is good, but not all good guys in that universe are good
Yeah.
at what they do per se. So you got Superman that's evil, you got Flash that's evil, even though he's not really Flash. It's completely different people. And then, but like,
In the infinite universe theory, there's a universe. Actually, there's an infinite number of universes where the Justice League is the exact same way as it is, except evil.
but I think thanks to the TV show, we should always know that no matter what Earth you're on, Ronnie Raymond will always die.
That's very true.
God, he can't catch a fucking
It's
break.
a sad. He cannot. Both Caitlins.
What bothers me is that he was called Deathstorm, but in the comics he's like I would definitely like to say an equivalent to Ghost Rider, because he's basically just
Yeah.
Skull. Like he's just a fucking burning skull, and he's got flame coming out of it. Like I would definitely call it
Pretty
Ghost
much,
Rider.
but he has Martin Stein.
He got yeah, and he's got Martin Stein in there, and he's basically his prisoner. And that's their way
Yeah,
of
it's
saying
funny. Over a month ago, I wouldn't have had a clue what we're talking about.
yeah. And then oh my god, in season 3, holy shit! I'm
I
so excited
don't
for
know a
season
single thing. No
Oh,
spoilers.
oh, I can't spoil it for you, but I know season 3 is going to be awesome because they're doing a huge fucking plot point. And I love it so much. I love the fucking plot point so much, and I hope that the TV show can deliver in their own way.
I mean, I know what I kind of have an idea of what Flashpoint is.
Oh,
I
wait a
know
minute.
from the comics.
How far into the season 2 are you?
I have one more episode.
You have one more episode, so you came across the runaway dinosaur. Where
Uh,
where Barry was destroyed by the particle accelerator, the second one.
yes,
And he was into the Speed Force.
yes.
That was a Kevin Smith directed episode. That was a fucking great episode.
It was an amazing episode.
Like, that was
I mean, at first I can't really talk too loud right now because Rue hasn't seen that one.
Or you can just tell me like where you're gonna say
2 or 3 episodes behind me.
2 or 3 episodes. Wait, 2 or 3. If she's 2 or 3 behind you, then she's probably already seen that episode. She has Invincible, and then she has the Race of His Life. I think is the second one or the last
She
one.
has not seen Invincible. She's not seen.
The Runaway Dinosaur.
She has not seen that one. I think the last one she saw was Time Travel.
Oh my god, she's far behind. Oh my god, she's really far behind. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So she hasn't seen the
Either
one.
Time
She hasn't seen the
Travel.
one. Like she hasn't seen the one where he gives up his speed to Zoom.
No.
She hasn't seen the
Wait.
one where
I don't think so. What's the last episode you saw? What happened? Go on. You don't know. How do you not know? We just watched it.
wow, she's not a true Flash fan.
Oh, okay. It just gave us speed.
Oh, so she did see the end of the. God, what do they call it? What was that episode called? I don't remember what the episode was called. Oh yeah, versus Zoom. I think that's what it was called.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
That might be it.
he was fighting Zoom at the end, and he's like, "Oh, I got Wally."
I got Wally.
He's like, "Fine, I'll give up my
Dang, Wally.
speed." And then he was gonna kill Barry, but then he took Snow instead.
Yeah. That's exactly where she is. That's the very last thing she saw.
And then you saw Barry's dad die or something at the end of that last episode.
I did.
Yeah,
She
you
hasn't.
saw that. I hated that. I kind of didn't like that episode just because I knew where it was going. All right, I knew where it was
Yeah.
going at the end of the fucking what's it called? At the end of the one where he comes back because he's like, because his father was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay here. I'm staying here for good." I'm like, "Oh god, that's
As
not
soon
good.
as that
That's not
happened,
good."
that's a death wish.
Yeah, like as soon as I thought, I'm like, "Oh, good god!" And then the next episode is called Invincible, and he's all cocky, and everything gets fixed for him. Like, oh no, something bad is gonna happen. And then right at the end, something bad happens. I'm like, I fucking called it.
I knew it as soon as I saw the name of the episode because I'm like, all right, you're pulling some really shady stuff,
But
CW.
who do you think the Man in the Mask is?
I have absolutely no idea.
Like you haven't even come
I
up
mean,
with it?
I have guesses, but I can't pinpoint it right now.
Can't wait for you to see that last episode. You're gonna be like, "Oh my god, what did you do? Why did you do this? And what the hell?"
Am I gonna be surprised by who's in the mask?
I don't know. You might. They've dropped so many subtle hints so far in the fucking episodes. Like it's funny how I'm talking to you about this, even though that I've already seen all of it and you haven't seen any or the last bit of it. But yeah. I think you should have already. I think you've already should have. Like you probably should already know who it is, like the name wise, but you probably don't know who it is physically.
I have a guess.
Who do you think it is?
Uh, but are you sure you're not going to give any weird like sound hints?
No,
if I'm right or not?
I'm just gonna say, why do you think that?
Okay. Well, I would assume that it would be Barry's father.
Why?
I would assume that because it's on Earth too. It's likely to be more parallel with his universe, and if Jay Garrick isn't the actual Flash, maybe his father is.
But wait, how would it be? How would he be his father when in the episode where he goes to it, he calls his mom and he says, "Oh, thank you for giving me and your dad tickets." I feel like if he was gone, he probably would have, like that probably
Maybe he
would have
wasn't
come
gone
up.
back then.
No, he was, yeah, but it was during.
It was, but you never
Like,
know.
I don't think he would have been torn up about it. He's like, I need to find my father. I don't know. That's a good theory though. That is a good theory. You know that his dad did play, like the actor did play the Flash in like the old old TV show, right?
Yeah, I was thinking because he's played everyone and their mothers in the Flash universe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they throw it back in, but actually thinking back on it, he's never tried to phase through anything.
Maybe something stopped
Then-
him.
Then again, it's the mask.
Yeah, the mask. The mask could have done something to him or something.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm thinking is the mask could be masking everything.
That's an interesting thought. Never thought of that before. I obviously have thought about this. I've thought about every single outcome for the Flash.
So, do you remember being in my position I am right now, waiting to see who the Iron Mask Man is?
I've never been in your position. You know why? Because I had to wait much longer than you.
But
the fucking
it hurts because I have to wait.
The fucking episode where Zoom takes off his mask and he reveals that it's actually Jay. All right.
I knew it.
Or at least in this case, it's Hunter Zolomon, but they keep calling him Jay. But when that came up, I'm like, wait, what? I was kind of hoping that it was somebody else, but then again, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? He just killed himself.
See, I knew it, but I didn't know how I knew it. As soon as, I didn't know it until he took Caitlin to the park.
Mm-hmm. And then
he was like,
that's Hunter Zolomon.
He was like, his name's Hunter Zolomon. And my mind shut off and was like, wait, that's Zoom. how do I know that's Zoom? I've never heard that name before, but Hunter Zolomon sounds like Zoom.
Like Hunter, like that does sound like a villain's name. Like you, like it echoed before you. Like Hunter Zolomon.
As soon as I heard Hunter Zolomon, my mind went to Zoom, and I was like, wait, then
Okay,
if he's Zoom, that
but
means Jay's actually Zoom.
but my favorite bit about finding out about Zoom is Barry and the rest finding out about Zoom, especially when it was like, you know, Cisco's like, I've been vibing Zoom. He's like, but every time I vibe him, it's near that helmet. And then Barry's just like, fucking, I'm done. Picks up a fucking metal rod and slams the fucking thing open. Like, that was fucking awesome. And then he touches the thing and they find out. And then it's like, Barry's so fucking full of rage that he runs and does a fucking superhero yell. And it's like, this is why I watch this fucking show. Just because, like, when they find shit out about that and they actually show people getting fucking, like, emotional about it, it's fucking great.
It is. It is
And that's
so
and that's
great.
why, and that's another reason why I'm afraid that the fucking movie can't perform well. It's because I haven't been emotionally invested into the character yet. Like of course, I'm emotionally invested into the Flash, but not Ezra Miller Flash.
Yeah, you're used to Grant.
We're all used to Grant. I think everybody likes Grant, or at least some people who are like, "Why is he not blonde with blue eyes? Like that's not the Flash." And then everyone's looking at Ezra Miller like, "Why aren't you listening to me?"
I can only accept this new Flash as the movie Flash if and only if they hint that Grant is in another universe.
I think they gotta do that. Like maybe, or maybe like like he has a cameo in there, a very slight cameo where he's like giving coffee to him or something.
Or maybe something similar to where he's like he's just going up throughout his day, of course, and then all of a sudden you see a portal open up, and he runs to the other portal, kind of like what you saw in the actual Flash episode when he ran through.
Yeah.
Something like that, and then you're like, then at that moment you're like, oh my god, it's just a different universe.
I would imagine them doing something like that for maybe the Flash TV show finale, where because like I know that there's like multiple different Flashes on every other Earth. I would just wish that like every single one of them would come through the fucking portal. Like Ed, like Jay Garrick, you would have Wally West, you would have fucking what's it? You would have Ezra Miller Flash because he has the Flash armor.
Yeah,
like, I would love to see that like as a big finale where every single Flash just comes through and they fight the big bad, which in this case I would think would be the Anti-Monitor because that's as far as they're gonna go for that.
Yeah.
But like another thing that I think that the cinematic universe is really trying to do is like trying to keep it like the casting, like they're trying to keep it like the TV show, because like they casted Iris West and she's basically the same ethnicity as our Iris West.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like having that diversity because it really gives the character not like, the blonde blue-eyed guy goes for the, the ginger-haired white girl. It's like, okay, we've seen this.
You just mentioned Caitlyn.
What?
You're referring to Caitlyn.
Am I referring to Caitlyn? No.
Pretty much.
No, I mean, it's...
I have another theory, but I already pretty much know it's true. Wally West.
Oh, what? Him being the Flash? Or him being in the fucking mask?
Well, the mask.
That's what I thought.
No.
I remember when I was watching, I was like, oh, it's probably... At first I thought it was Jackson, like fucking Firestorm from the first episode, because when he was tapping on the wall, he's like, Jay. I'm like, Jay Jackson? I'm like, no, just Jay Garrick.
You see, Wally West. I don't know much about him. I haven't heard much in the comics through him, but Wally West. That sounds like a superhero name.
Mm-hmm.
He's obsessed with speed.
Mm-hmm.
He was just hit with dark matter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, add one and one together. I haven't heard this confirmed yet, but
he's well known for being Kid Flash in the comics, and
really
Flash number 3 when Barry goes missing.
Really?
Yeah.
So my theories are not far off.
Oh, your theories are spot on, to be honest. Like Wally West is Kid Flash. He is Kid Flash, regardless if he doesn't have his powers. He's Kid Flash, just as much as Caitlyn is still Killer Frost to me, even though that she doesn't have powers.
Yeah. I might have to head off because my phone's about to die.
Yeah, I don't even know how long we've been recording.
Not a clue.
But I think it's a good time to stop here. I should probably make a very quick reason as to why Jolt is coming out bi-weekly. It's because Justin hasn't finished that fucking effect yet, and I have to wait for him to finish that effect, and I'm kind of stalling. So expect it this Thursday.
I'm graphics cardless with my computer right now.
Yeah, and that is your fault, and I'm gonna end up making my own effect, and it's gonna be pretty sadly. Anyway, because I'm not gonna wait for you. I'm just gonna say we're gonna record chapter 5 right now, and we need it done.
Yeah, I wish it was my fault that I could fix it.
Yeah. Remember how you were saying, like, Matt, whatever you do, you gotta finish it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then you're like, I can't finish it because I can't get the effect done because I can't get on my computer.
Yeah,
You are so
I'm
fucking
down a
lucky.
computer because of it.
You are so fucking lucky that I only need your goddamn Xbox right now. All right, we're good. I don't know how long it's been, but I'll tell you how long it's been after I'm done recording.
All right.
Thank you for watching, or thank you for listening in, and thank you for watching. I don't even know how far. I feel if we've gone farther than The Sims, it's probably already repeated itself, but whatever.
Repeat. Just add some extra footage on the end of something.
Okay, I'll add SimCity, a video that's already up.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. Farewell.
Hope you're enjoying the SimCity.
It's not SimCity.
God dang it.